Hey guys, my name is Dran, and nowadays publishing your own work is bigger than ever! And I mean, look at these sites. There's so many that, man, which one do I upload on? Well, good for you, friend. I have some to recommend and some to not recommend. The sites I'm going to showcase are the ones that I've personally used and uploaded my own work onto. It means that there may not be many sites I'm talking about in depth, but at least you'll get a thorough answer. At the end of the video, I'll give a full list of all of the sites that I know, just that I don't know much about, but it's there if you want to go explore. Okay, you get that, pal? Alright, moving on. I'm gonna rank these sites on a tier list as well because I'm such a YouTuber. Factors in my decisions are, how good is it for the readers? If the site is hard to navigate or janky, it's not good and people won't read your stuff because of how much of a hassle it is to read it. Second, how versatile is the site? If the site only allows one kind of comic format, then that's limiting for what you can upload. This also goes for what kind of genres the site caters to the most, and so on. And then lastly, is the site popular and active, or does it have issues? This is a given. You don't want the site you use to have nobody using it, obviously, and some sites may have issues that can get in the way of your work being shown or found. Though I'll say the site being popular isn't as big of a deal as it is if it has issues or not. Issues that we'll expound on more later, but you don't want the site to have such a controversial history that like your comic being hosted is like constantly in jeopardy of some wacky thing the company wants to do. Now I know what you're thinking. Dran, what about the money? And hey, listen, that's nice. It's like the cherry on top, but I personally don't care about that much. Contests are the only things that I really care about because they have the most bang for your buck. I mean, they usually give money, but also it's a lot of publicity. Publishers look at that sort of thing. It's nice, but also you don't have to remain faithful to like webtoons, for example, just because they have contests. You can always just go there freely whenever the contests start and end. It really doesn't matter that much. Some sites offer revenue systems, but again, those revenue systems are like, if your comic gets 1 bajillion views, then you'll get, you know, like $1,000. And it's like, all right, cool, thanks. Like, by that point, dog, I'm already making money through other sites. Thanks very much. So, yeah. And just for reference, I've still not made a dime off of any site I've ever uploaded to. I mean, it's like, it's there if it happens, but I would say don't expect it to happen. It's like, keep the expectations low on that front. So I just won't be counting it in my rankings. Which leads me to my disclaimer. It doesn't matter where you upload to in the end anyway, just as long as it's readable and gives you a link to share with others, except for one site I'm going to be talking about today, except for one site. But anyway, this list is purely my opinion after using all of these ways to share my work throughout the years and also trying to find the best ones. I would highly encourage you to use this video as a means to open your eyes to what other sites are out there, and less of the optimal site, you know, because there is a lot more sites that I don't know about that could be better, that maybe are flying under the radar. So anyway, let's get started. First site is Webtoons. This was the very first site I uploaded to way back in 2019. In fact, I reckon it was a lot of people's first site for uploading comics onto. Webtoons made a huge splash back when it was up and coming because it was the place to share your stories. In the Webtoons format, of course. You know, like scrolling down a lot. So as the name implies, I suppose. I stopped using this site a long time ago though because I didn't really like the Webtoon vertical scroll format to begin with, but also because it was looking like the platform favored certain genres over others to a staggering degree, as well as the audience that was on it. Who can blame them? That genre, of course, being romance or isekai, and anything around that really. And looking into Webtoons now, it's still the case. I mean, this is the front page. And hey, nothing wrong with that. It's what people on Webtoons like and want more of. And even if it starts to look really generic after a while, it's what they like. So while there is a bias for what genres the platform wants, you can still use the site as you wish. I mean, it's not like there's a rule or anything. I would say to go in with low expectations if you have some different genre to offer. I mean, it can still work. There's like evidence of that, but it is an uphill battle. Now, as for the format, it's kind of like the Netflix of comics. It's super easy for people to read and binge, especially on the go. It's like made for phones. And while that format is good for that and can have some, I guess, some neat things you can do, it makes the site pretty limiting if you don't do webtoons, especially if you're coming from a traditional comic format. If you're going to use the site to its fullest, then you'll want to make content in the full webtoon format. So what this means, fully colored and shaded work in every chapter you do, so no black and white, along with those really long panels. Just a lot of little things here and there. And while you can technically post pages from a manga in the scroll down format, it is really leaving a lot to be desired, and most people are expecting stuff to be in the webtoons format. People are gonna see it and be like, why is this so weird? Why do my eyes have to work harder to read this? But also keep in mind for yourself too, like, do you like working in that format? Do you like the vertical format? I mean, I know a lot of people that just straight up do not like drawing in that format. I myself don't like it either. I think it's kind of simplistic and limiting, personally. So keep that in mind. That being said, the site is undoubtedly popular. Everybody knows about this site. It's one of the most, if not the most popular site on this list. So because of that, it is definitely not a wasted effort to make your comic in the webtoon format just for this site. I mean, it's definitely not a bad idea. Though, I guess in a roundabout sort of way, because it's so popular, it's inevitable that stuff gets buried under thousands of other webtoons. So good marketing will be the key to really shine on this site, I feel, as is with any site really, but more so for this one. Now, I once heard that people like to shit on webtoons more than they do talk about how good the site is. And what that means is webtoons has a shit ton of controversy and things creators really don't like. I honestly don't know enough to give you the TED talk on why exactly that is, but if you're curious, there's like a million videos talking about why creators hate webtoons, their grievances with the site, and why they don't use it anymore. And even this new one I found recently talking about how webtoons is pretty loosey-goosey with their guidelines on mature content, which is no good. It's definitely something that's worth looking into if you're really interested in this site. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about webtoons and webtoon comics, so I just don't care enough to like look into this. So all in all, I'll put webtoons at the it's okay tier. I think the lack of versatility in format and genre bias can feel very limiting. The inconsistent rules and things like that can also provide headaches if your work actually does gain traction. And obviously creators still have issues with the site. That being said, it's still undoubtedly popular, and that means people will use it and actively browse on there. On top of that, it's got contests being hosted, so it's definitely not a bad site to be on. But it's definitely also not a perfect site, so just keep that in mind. Before we move on, if you would subscribe, I would be oh so happy. Yay! This is me if you subscribe. Yay! Next one we got is Tapas. So after I got tired of webtoons and how I was getting no traction on that site, I thought, this alternative site looks pretty good. Around this time, I had no idea where else I could upload to, so when I found Tapas, I felt pretty excited. I was like, you know, this looks different. It looks like it's for people that got tired of webtoons and wanted something else, a new flavor, maybe ink flavored, maybe even crude oil, something like that. And hey, they even have a little system using like ink to support creators. I don't really understand it, but it does something. It's like a Patreon, almost like mine in the description below. Anyway, though Tapas ended up being the exact same thing as webtoons, it's literally a clone. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. What's more is that I don't even know anybody that uses this site personally. So I'm left looking at this site like, who uses this? If you're uploading on webtoons, then I guess you'd might as well upload on Tapas as well. There's no reason not to. I mean, it's the same thing. They're both webtoons focused. I feel like they have a lot of genre overlap. Like they both want the same genres. And I mean, look at this. I think you can tell what kind of stories they like. However, the site is a little less popular than webtoons, maybe being more like the strange cousin of webtoons that for some reason loves dousing themselves in ink. But if you thought this site was free from controversy, you're wrong. It's like comparing apples to oranges, man. I don't know what's going on with the webtoon scene. Like, what? How does it? Whatever. So, I'm just gonna throw this right next to webtoons in the it's okay tier. Number 3. Global Comics. So Global Comics is a site that I started uploading to about a year ago, and I gotta say, this site is hands down the best one that I've experienced personally. This site is easy to navigate, easy to read stuff off of, easy to upload, and versatile. I do think certain aspects of the UI could be better, but for what it is, it's good. This site supports the Webtoons format and both left to right and right to left formats. We're fine dining over here. And you can upload nearly anything you want. I never have to worry if something I'm drawing is too much or too graphic or whatever. I can do whatever the heck I want.
And none of you can stop me!
Well, not whatever I want, but you get the dealio. The site is also pretty dang active since it has other big name comics on here, from the likes of DC and Marvel, for example. What's cool is that your itty bitty comic is pretty much on the same grounds as these comics, so naturally people can find your stuff. It's nowhere near the size of Webtoons, however, so don't expect anything crazy there. It's still growing, so maybe one day when Webtoons has another controversy, people will make their way to this site. Yay! Honestly, for me, it checks a lot of boxes already, but the site also provides a way to get income if your comic is gaining lots of traction. But again, I don't include this as a point since, like I said, if your work is popular, income will find you. This is one of the best up-and-coming sites for sure. It's really easy to use, really easy to share with your friends, really easy to read off of, I guess. I don't have much else to say other than it's pretty solid and a safe place. So I'm gonna put this in the heaven tier. Speaking of global comics, if you want to see what it looks like and also take a look at my manga, then you can check the link in the description below. And if you like it, let me know. Thanks. Moving on. And now, finally, manga plus creators. I've talked about it before with my experience being varied. It used to be the site I primarily used, and I hate to say it, but man, this site has had such a fall from grace. If you don't know this site, I'll catch you up to speed. It's a site where you can upload manga primarily, but it also allows you to upload webtoons as well. The main draw of the site, however, was that every month a manga competition would be held where you can enter for a chance to win money and get published. My goal was to get within the top 10, which is basically where you need to land for the competition selection. I ended up getting 8th place at the peak of it all, and here's the rest of my rankings. Now, I believe I have a good amount of things to say given the time I've used the site and my experience with it. So the whole thing sounds pretty great, right? It's a contest and you get to upload your manga 2 in 1. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Unfortunately, anybody with eyes and a brain looking at this site can tell something is fishy. Something doesn't seem right, but you can't prove it. And that's what makes using this site so frustrating. But what is so fishy about this site, you may ask? Well, here goes. Number 1, views, likes, and comments can be artificially produced with zero consequence, meaning, you guessed it, bots. How something gets in the top 10 is pretty much based on those 3 things, I'm pretty sure. And with how competitive contests can get, if there's foul play, it just feels unfair. Number 2, people can upload pretty much whatever they want. And no, I don't mean NSFW or gore, I mean AI generated content, traced AI content, which by the way is a lot worse, and stolen comics. Hell, someone uploaded Dandadan and didn't even spell it right. Like, what are you doing? The worst part about the AI generated comics people upload is that it's essentially rage baiting people to click on it, which then gives them views, and then forcibly makes them click on the like button if they want to leave a comment telling them to frick off. So as a result, they'll stay in the top 10, or worse, they'll climb the top 10. And there is a feature to report a comic, and I've only ever seen that really work for stolen content, not AI generated content, so I really have no idea how they handle those tickets. Lastly, number 3, in order to get nominated for an award, you need to place in the top 10. And the 2 reasons I just said mean that you might be kicked out from the top 10 by some AI slop or someone's work that was artificially boosted. On top of that, actually winning an award from the site is extremely difficult from what I've observed anyway. There's probably a lot more that I can say, but this is the gist of why the site is pretty bad to be on. An unmoderated site is not something you want to be on, especially one that's full of AI slop, because you have to ask yourself, why would somebody that loves reading comics choose this site to read from if it's full of garbage that they have to manually sift through? There's been consistently AI slop in the top 10 every month, and also just new AI garbage being uploaded on the site like every day. And now while people bash on those publicly, there's some comics on there that are pretty obviously traced AI images, but I can't prove it. So I'm not gonna call them out, but I know it deep down. I just do. The site is honestly a joke, which is a shame since it was a cool place before, you know? But now, it's just an unmoderated AI slop landfill with obvious areas of exploitation and views and likes that have never been resolved. But Dran, I don't care about the contest. Can't I just upload this on the site as another place to upload to?
Why yes, dear viewer, you can do that.
But I wouldn't expect much to come from it. The UI and stuff is alright, nothing wrong with it, but that's about all it's got going for it. I've since stopped using this site because I just don't support this, nor do I post on any place with a bunch of AI slop. And you shouldn't either, which is why I'm putting this in the hell tier. In the case this part of the video becomes outdated where they magically come back and fix everything I said in this video, then it would go in the it's okay tier since it is versatile, but otherwise I feel the site isn't popular for people that aren't artists, meaning it's better off used to simply host your work and nothing else. I feel like it could have the potential to go up a tier if they added more new things to it and more publicity, but that's about it. Good golly, that was a lot of yapping. But guys, I found this comic company that talks about helping creators and supporting them. Whoa! Man, ain't that hard to come by. They have a site called Voice Me where people upload to. Oh yeah, that was the site with that one webtoon called God Game. Man, people really liked that series, huh? Well gee, maybe if I upload my manga on this site, I can become a full-time creator that's being supported by a company. That definitely doesn't do any shady NFT or AI things. Well, what am I waiting for? Let's go! Alright, let's do this. Alright, voiceme.com. And here we are. Oh. What? What the hell? Did I get the site right? Yeah, that's the right site. Where's the comics? Man, it looks like the site's gone under a bit of rebranding. So we'll tackle this next time, fellas. Believe it! Anyway, here's the full tier list, and here's some more recommendations I have that I didn't expound on simply because I don't use these sites as much, but if you're curious, then definitely take a look at them. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. Comment which site do you want to use, or was there a completely different site that's better than all of these combined? Let me know in the comments. And thank you to my Patreon Photo Man. Once again, you're the GOAT, bro. And yeah, see ya!